Ah, shit. What's up, man? What's going on, everybody? It's been a minute. How we all doing, man? Haven't went live in a minute. You see, it's a little different setup. After football, needed a little break. But let's give some people some time to get up in here, man. I want to talk about some portals today. With NCAA requirements, man. More kids are not being recruited right now, and a lot of people are wondering why a lot of these kids are not being recruited right now. But before we get into this, I want to play this song. This is by Ali Pone. This will give some people some time to get up in here. Fed Hill, but you can go check out his music on all the social media platforms. But let's give him, and we'll give some people a few minutes to get up in here, and then we'll talk about it. Move the baseball blast. Bounce, bounce, bounce.
I said my city no joke. Spin the tires, turn the wheel, take a toke. Pay attention, or the fucking take it all. What I said. They killed Freddie at the body shop, one in the head. A week later, found Willie in his living room dead. What I said. After Mikey, he cut the eyes out her head. Everybody know Paul, don't know no Craig. Only my wife and my daughter ever sleep in my bed. I trust no one. Still had a homie that turned into a fed. This is how you do me. Drive through my city like a movie. You don't know me, you don't move me. They picked up Brown Harlem for a body and wound me. Shit, I started college. I'ma get up out of here soon. Be pack up the family, find somewhere that suits me. It's fucked up, but I ain't about to stand here till somebody shoots me. Pistol.
All right. That gave me a minute to do what I had to do. But what's going on, everybody, man? What's happening? There's something that I really, I wanted to talk to right now with recruiting going on, the NCAA, the portal. A lot of people are seeing kids that are not being recruited right now. You're seeing kids that are not being picked up. And, all you're seeing is these 5-star players that are being recruited. Who have we heard of so far in Rhode Island who has been recruited? Of course, and everybody goes to who? The 5-star players are being recruited. And shout out to him, URI getting a full ride up there. But a lot of guys are not being recruited. A lot of kids are not being recruited. And that's probably going to be the case for the next couple of seasons with the NCAA portal. That thing just screwed everything up. It's like the wild, wild west. I talked about that portal a year ago, and I think there was like 1,200 kids. There was like 1,200 students in that NCAA portal. Now there's like 10,000 students. Like even Clemson lost like 11 players. So, and what's happening is these college coaches, they're like, why am I going to burn a scholarship on a high school kid when I could save these scholarships? They could stack these scholarships, right? They don't even have to use them. They could take these kids that have experience. When I started, I like to think that I helped some kids, get an opportunity. And when the transfer portal first came out, I ain't even gonna front. I thought it was gonna be a good idea. I was like, you know what? Why not let these athletes transfer? Whether a coach leaves for whatever reason, or if the player feels that they're not getting a fair shake, let them transfer. Let the player go elsewhere. What was the big deal, right? But then it goes much deeper than that, depending on the opportunity. You know, it goes a lot deeper. And it now looks like high school football players, they're not getting offers, basically, because colleges are saving them for transfers. And you really can't be mad at the colleges. I mean, how many kids are getting offers? You may be getting coaches calling you, but are a lot of kids really getting these offers? I mean, on average right now, You figure if a school, they could probably save 5 to 10 offers, right? So that's scholarships that they could bank. So if you get a scholarship, you give a scholarship to a high school player right now. You don't have to give that scholarship to the high school player because you can go inside the NCAA portal and you could just pick experienced kids that already did it on the college field. And this is all because the COVID giving college kids an extra year, so they're taking advantage of that eligibility. But for the next 3, 4 years, a lot of people are mad at the football recruiters right now. Oh, why isn't this guy recruiting my kids? Oh, they're calling you. Texas State, here's an example. Texas State, guess how many high school kids they recruited? Texas State recruited 0 high school kids. All the kids that they just picked up, I think it was 8 kids, came out of the portal. So that's 8 scholarships right now that Texas State does not have to use. I mean, it does make a lot of sense if, especially for a lot of these colleges now, it's a different era. We're seeing it on the high school level. They're bringing coaches in and they're like, win now. You have 18 months. Get it done. That 3, 4 year win mentality, that definitely is not the issue here. So people are taking advantage of this. I mean, but think about it, right? We're high-level recruits who are already offered by big-time schools versus taking a high school recruit who is unknown. Who are you really going to take? I mean, we want to be biased and say, oh, yeah, we'll give the high school kid a chance. But if you had a chance to take, say whatever job you do, whatever company you run, if you had a chance to take somebody that you usually take out of high school, right? Would you take the kid out of high school or would you take the kid that went to college for it, the kid that had the degree? So that's why a lot of these NCAA coaches are taking these kids out of the portal. And from what I understand, it's like the Wild Wild West. I mean, it's free agency for college kids. And because of that, your kids, you're wondering why your players are not getting recruited right now. This is why. And why you got to be the top of the top. You got to be a beast and able to even to get recruited to some of these D3 teams. A lot of you kids that think that, oh, it's D1, D2 or bust. Well, guess what? All these D1 and D2 kids are going to D3 programs now. So that whole dream got to be D1? No. It's trickling down. Go look at some of these rosters. Go look at some of these rosters now. You'll see D3 kids that were once in D1 programs begging D3 schools to take them. And that's a fact. Now, you know what's going to happen. Here's the issue. And this issue is going to go all the way down and affect youth football. Mark my words. This is going to affect youth football. I noticed when I did sign on to this live, the number went right up. I knew a lot of people thought my first live back I was going to talk some shit about. I think this is way more important, talking about the portal and high school football and why kids are not getting recruited and why kids may not get recruited this year. It's already affected a certain Division II quarterback that's having problems that should have already been offered. Already having problems. You're going to see the 5-star guys get recruited. Yeah, see ya. But what happens to the high school kids? If Florida State took 0 high school kids, and we're going to talk about that in another minute, but if Florida State takes 0 high school kids, what do you think something like Rhode Island? It's going to be a trickle-down effect. I mean, there's already enough that goes against us, right? But look, youth athletes, they're going to be less likely to come out and play football, right? If the kids in youth football and Pee Wee football, listen, if your kids don't see the high school kids getting recruited, we got sound, right? Is everything good? But if they don't see the local kids in high school getting recruited, why are the youth football players going to keep coming out knowing that when they get to high school, their chances of being recruited are slim? And This is not even BS. Like, talk to anybody you would like, Google it. Kids are not getting recruited. People are mad at recruiters we have around because they're not looking at their kids. Oh, why haven't you recruited my kid? They're getting upset about it. But if the talent pool shrinks, right? So what happens? There's going to be less talent from programs that are trying to create something because it's just going to have a bigger divide between top tier programs and the middle tier programs. And this is an important issue. Like, I'm not even fronting. Don't sit there and be like, yo, I don't know why my son did not get recruited. He's a good kid. He could play football. He don't really do school well, but he could play football. But if you're not going to listen, there is a problem. So what is it going to take to save this? Because there's a big divide between the top tier and the rest. The transfer portal, let me tell you, it created a situation where college coaches will take a look and save scholarships for transfers that might have really gone to high school players that they can develop, right? So why is a college coach going to want to take a high school kid? I mean, don't get me wrong. I want them to take high school kids, but why is he going to take a high school kid really when he could take somebody that proved that they were already recruited? They already have a year on the job. They already know basically how to play college football. Are we mad at these colleges for doing this? I mean, we mad at the system. We should be mad at the system. It's not going to change. And I think after December 10th, it's going to be a little bit differently. But then we're going to sit back and see that, oh, wow, our kids didn't get recruited. Nah, they didn't. Because it is transfer portal that's overloaded. It's the Wild Wild West. Like, I think over 15,000 kids in that portal right now. And so these recruiters are not going to take your high school student player, even though you're like, he could change your program, he could do good things for your program, because they're going to take the kids that are already experienced. What do? We got to come together and we got to coach these kids up, the ones that can make it at the next level, so we can make sure we get these kids recruited. I mean, college coaches are getting fired, right? Only after like what, one or two bad seasons. They ain't even giving them guys a chance right now. So this portal could be a huge factor. Look at Deion Sanders, what he's doing. You don't think Deion Sanders is taking advantage of this portal? Let me know. Can I get a thumbs up at least if you can hear me, or put in the comment section that you can hear me? Because I hate to be doing all this talking and you can't hear me. But yeah, kids are just not getting recruited. I mean, Buchanan gets a ride, great. Of course. Why? 5-star player in Rhode Island, 5-star player. Of course he gets a ride. Yes. DePina hasn't. There's been rumors about DePina, but nothing yet. And this is all because of this portal. Kids that you think would get recruited a year ago, 2 years ago, not so much the case this year. I gotta go see if this is being I just gotta make sure we got sound here. Yeah, not so much the case. Kids that you would think would be getting recruited are not getting recruited. And I think I put the link in if you want to come in and discuss this or go over it. But here we go. I just gotta see if we. All right, we good. I think I put the link in if you want to come in. Hold on. Great topic. I'll wait to give my opinion. That's a fact. Shout out to you. Um, but no, it is a great topic, and I mean it's a fact. Kids are not being recruited. I just said earlier, Texas zero, Texas State recruited zero high school football players. The portal. I started talking about this last year. I did a podcast, and because I noticed the portal numbers going up like 1,200, 1,500, FCS players, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, it's up what 10,000 kids. It's basically the free agency right now. Um, coaches don't have time to develop the high school kids. They want guys that are already developed, so they're gonna dig into the portal. I mean, but this is a flaw in the system, right? And of course, it has to be corrected. Is it gonna be? I don't know. Should there be a limited number of transfers? Because think about it. Say if you get 25 kids this year off the portal, right? That's 25 kids right there. And then you get another 25 kids next year out the portal. And then you get another 25. So and then you do it again. Let's make it even 100 kids out the transfer portal. Well, you know what? Now you have 100 scholarships, and I know what you're saying. You're like, nah, man, you're wrong, and I'm gonna call you out. I'm like, what? The 75 scholarship kids that a team's allowed, they were allowed these scholarships, so they can exceed that number at that time. So there's a limited number of transfers, right, that a FBS or FCS school can take, right, in a given season, right? And you would think that would control the impact, right? That's what you're going to say. It's going to control the impact of the transfer portal nationally. Here we go. Nationally, right? 400. 400. That's a big number. 400 fewer kids signed letters of intent to play FBS. Now we're just talking FBS football in 2021 recruiting cycle compared to 2020. Remember, nationally 400 fewer high school kids signed letters of intent. In 2021, FBS teams signed 2,215 high school seniors. That's according to data from 247sports.com. You can go check it out yourself. In 2020, they also signed 2,622 seniors signed letters of intent. This is all facts. So you see from 2,600 down to what? 2,215. Now, one player that I was talking to, someone in his family was talking about that. Listen to this. 1,600 yards, 22 touchdowns, right? 3 touchdown catches, no interceptions, right? This kid does not have a D1 offer. Another kid has 1,060 yards and 13 touchdowns with 3 catches, don't have a D1 offer, don't have a D2 offer. Yeah, coaches are calling you. They're going to call you and talk to a few kids, but they're not coming down. They are not coming down and looking at kids right now. I mean, I know every player's case is different, right? But situations are also, you look at the recruiting landscape, right? That's difficult right now for high school seniors. And I hope a lot of people listen to this. I mean, reading articles and looking at it, and and I wanted to do this for a little bit of time now. I mean, it's really tough out there, mainly due to this transfer portal, an extra year of eligibility. You had 5-year players this year. Like, why not? Of course, the kids are going to take advantage of it, and that was awarded to college players because of COVID-19. I mean, but we are definitely in a different era because now they can just go in the transfer portal. They're not going to take your kid, and they'll just get somebody experienced. One high school coach I recently talked to said that high school recruiting, and it's usually very high at this particular private school, right? This particular private school, the phone calls are down 90%, or the visits and school visits, whatever it is. They're down 90% this year. I mean, across the nation, they're saying the top 100, 150 kids, the best, the best in the country, top 150 kids will have no problem getting recruited, going to play at that college level. I mean, but there's definitely, imagine all the good players inside that top buck 50. Boy, they got to be some good athletes. Boys can ball. None of them are anybody we know. None of them are from around here. I mean, I don't know if anybody you know, no one I know. I mean, the transfer portal, the extra year that a lot of these guys are getting, it's all hurting the high school kids more than anybody. And definitely share this, man. Leave a comment. Appreciate everybody, tapping in. I know it's been a minute. A lot of people were pretty much anticipating this, but we definitely gonna talk about some of the other stuff. I like to see if I have chance, we'll talk about the Pond against the DWG game a little bit. We can also get into the Central game. We could talk a little bit about Coach Mike Washington. Breakthrough Academy got their thing going. The Pylon, shout out to Coach Dunbar. But what we're talking about right now is the NCAA transfer portal. Let me see if I can get this to work like this. Maybe this can help me. We're talking about the NCAA transfer portal and how it's going to hurt a lot of kids that would usually be recruited. Here's something, something else we'll probably get into. As a coach, treat your players like you would want your own kids to be treated. Treat them with love, respect, and discipline. As coaches, I got a question while we're talking about this portal stuff, but do your players need to earn your respect? Or is your respect just, do you demand your players' respect? Or should they earn it? Is respect earned? Does it go mutual both ways? I like to talk about that soon and how that could backfire on you as a coach. But right now we're talking about the NCAA portal and how kids are not getting recruited. You got to be inside the top 150 kids, they're saying, this year for colleges to even touch you, because they're just going to hold on to these transfers. They're going to go through the portal. They're going to hold on to these scholarships, and they're going to bank them. They're going to banknote all the scholarships because, yes, they have an 85 scholarship max, right? But these scholarships were already awarded. So they can hold them. They can use them again. So next year we're going to use another 20 of these scholarships that we're not using this year. So they're taking kids that they know been recruited already, kids that went into the portal, because basically what the portal does now, it gives some of these kids, they jump team to team to team until they get the best deal that they want. So now kids, if they're not unhappy with a team, I mean, and everybody gets touched by this. Clemson lost 11 kids. 11 kids from Clemson jumped into the portal. Kids from Alabama jumped into the portal. I mean, kids from everywhere jumping into this damn portal. Why not? It's the NC. It's free agency, and it's wild, wild west out there. Like coaches are going ham on each other. Like they want these kids. I mean, it's definitely a different day and time for these coaches, man. A new era for coaches, man. You know, technology. If you can't keep up with this technology and stuff, like it's a different era for coaching in general. You see the portal, you got to have the best players in the game right now. You are not going to get by. Them days of coaching for your legacy are over. If not, your kids are not going to get recruited. It's a different day and time. Kids, only the top 150 football players in the country, they're saying right now, have a chance to get recruited. And it's mainly because of the extra year of eligibility awarded to college players. And December 10th, all this is going to change again. You know, some coaches said the phone calls are down up to 90%. The extra year. I mean, I had this conversation last year, right after the spring football, and we were talking about FCS. And the spring season, there was about 1,300, I think it was. 1,300 players in the portal and about 12 to 1,300 FBS, right? Now it's up over 12,000 kids. 12,000 kids. Like, I mean, the transfer portal is becoming a damn disaster. Coaches that usually recruit our area very, very hard are being demonized. Like, oh, you don't want to recruit my kid. My kid ain't good enough for you. Rah, rah, rah. D3, you know, my kid plays for D1. Well, we see in D1 kids going down because college football right now is getting more complicated than ever. And when it comes to recruiting in this transfer portal, oh my God. I mean, it's basically for players looking to get to a better school, get to a better team, a better fit, education. But with each passing year, more players are entering the transfer portal. And if these scholarship the rules around recruiting, we'll talk about that. The scholarship rules around recruiting, oh my God, if they don't change, this portal will have a negative effect on these kids. And I'm telling you right now, this portal, if these college football rules about recruiting don't change, this portal is going to have a negative effect. You're going to have less kids playing youth football. Why? Because they're seeing kids in college are not, kids in high school now are not getting recruited. Kids that you would think would have already had a nice, easy ride into a college are being forced to take walk-ons. More walk-ons now. And, you know, and I ain't mad at it, really. I'm mad at the way the NCAA handled this, of course. Yeah, who's not surprised about that? But I'm not mad at a walk-on for saying, you know what, I'm going to try to go play on this team. I mean, if Alabama lost 10, Clemson lost 10 after winning a championship, who else is going to lose players? Who's going to pick up players? Let me know what you think about this. A lot of people don't even know what the damn current rules are as far as all of this. I mean, that's definitely clear. That's a fact. Fans don't even know the basis of college football recruiting. I mean, a lot of people will tell you that every Division I school, right, has what? Yes, 85 scholarships. I see that in the comment section over there on YouTube. Yes, I know. But if they're not using it, they could save it. The scholarships to award to players, right? But these scholarships, they refer to them, I want to say, what was that movie with, No, I'm thinking of rounders. No, counters. These actually are called counters, right? These scholarships, every year, a program can award a maximum of 25 counters, which is 25 scholarships, right? To the incoming class. So we're going to see teams adding more than 25 scholarship players in any given recruiting class right now because these teams are not breaking the rules, but they're just bending them, right? Bend that don't break. Oh, my bar came on. Hang on, let me get this out of here. All right. Yeah, basically it's bend but don't break. So they're not really cheating. Some would say, "Oh, that's cheating," but instead of bending the rules, if a player enrolls early, a school can end up giving an unused scholarship from a previous year to that player, even though that scholarship went to someone. They'll give it to another player. They can do that. And this is how programs can sometimes sign more than 25 players to a recruiting class. And I know usually it is about 25 players. I mean, imagine over the course of 4 years, you bank on these scholarships, you put them away. In the course of 4 years, how many scholarships does that program actually have? I mean, players come and go, right? Which all helps the stress. But the number of the scholarships for these kids stay the same. If the new recruits is lower than 25, then they get to use that. But the thing is, and for those of you students or players that might watch this and stuff that have the opportunity to enter the portal, one thing you have to be clear of: you surrender. That's right. You surrender your scholarship when you enter the portal. That's right. You surrender it. I mean, the school has the choice to let it go with you, but why are they going to do that? They're like, nah. But most likely it'll work out. You get that scholarship, you reapply, you get another scholarship from the school that you're going to. I'm sure that they have no problem giving you kids that can play football. Top 150. They'll take care of that. You can bet that on. But when a player does find a new school, he'll receive a scholarship from that school, right? That would definitely count towards that year's 25 scholarship limit. But a transfer player effectively takes a scholarship as if he was a freshman right out of high school. So you're a transfer player. How's this? Say a third year player, you get a scholarship as if you're a freshman. But the portal is going to continue to be a growing problem. That's for sure. Players transferring out of a program, you know, I mean, that don't mean they can actually use the scholarship if they have already maxed out their current year's list. That's where a lot of schools are going to get tripped up. They're going to get screwed up on the numbers. They're going to screw up on the rules, and they're going to get busted for using more than they have because they're just not doing it right. They're not multiplying right. You know what I mean? Because players transferring out of a program is not going to give the schools one of the 85 total scholarships back. You know, especially if they already maxed out the amount that the scholarships that they can have the previous year. And that isn't going to help anybody in next year's class, can be even larger. But if the program did not use all 25 scholarships, that's where then they can do that. That's where that they can let that scholarship play in and it won't affect their cap. See? It's all in how you twisting the numbers around, man. It's all in how you laying it down. We really don't have the full numbers yet to look at it to this point. But it's definitely going to go to bigger students. And like I said, you guys definitely have the right to transfer, to go to another school, whether you don't like it for whatever reason. I think something has to be straightened out with the money situation. But you'll get a scholarship at the new school you go to. But these rules need to change? Yep, they sure do. I mean, the portal is definitely, it ain't going nowhere. It is not going nowhere. But the rule, however, it needs to allow for a better way It has to allow for a better way to move these scholarships around. Changing their rights are expanding, players' rights, the rules around recruiting need to change as well. We need they definitely need to change, and I talked about earlier in Texas, February 2021. Texas State recruited 0 high school players. They got 1 JUCO player and the rest from a transfer portal. See, they're taking all these portal guys. Like I said, nobody's immune from this. This is going to affect everybody. Even with 9 players transferring out of Clemson, I thought it was 11, so I'm sorry. I got it right here. It's actually 9 leaving Clemson. They were affected by the transfer, which actually eliminated the requirements for other players to sit for a year when transferring to another school. Shout out to Wayne the Voice Matthews. Looks like he just got in from the train station. That guy always working. Before this transfer portal opening, though, college coaches, they would be flooding state high school championship games. Oh my God, would they be going to all these friggin' high school championship games, right? They don't have to do that no more because now they could just sit around the portal, And from what I'm hearing, the nickname is like the Wild Wild West. So you're going to get these athletes that bring college experience, which is considered more valuable than taking someone out of high school. We already know that. We really can't be mad. How long will this last? Some say it could be 3-4 years. Maybe I think Monday or Tuesday we might be speaking with Coach Ryan McCormick at UMass Dartmouth, and we'll definitely get his opinion. Ryan's going to come in. He's going to talk about the 25 Rhode Island players UMass Dartmouth has. They win a championship. And I'm sure this portal is going to affect them. I'm sure they might have guys looking to transfer up, transfer down. They might have guys looking to come in. They definitely had some dogs last year, though. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Let me text him and let him know on the podcast. Yep. So if you want to come on, I think the link should be in the description up at the top. It's a StreamYard link. We're talking the portal and recruiting today. Yeah. So what is going to happen to these kids right now? Like I said, we already know Marcus Buchanan, got the offer at URI. I mean, a lot of these kids are holding out for D1 and D2, but I got news for you guys. Listen. D1 and D2 players are transferring to D3 programs. D1 is having an issue with the transfer portal. Don't let that cloud your head that, it has to be D2 or D1 because D1 guys are jumping ship. And all you players, and some coaches like D1, 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 no scholarship or no diploma says D1. And D1 guys, go look on some of these Division III rosters right now. And I bet you'll see former D1 players. This portal is creating anarchy. Crazy. So just stop it with the whole you can get to college, get to college. Stop it with this whole D1 because you know what's going to happen? And I seen it. I ain't going to mention any players' names, but we had players that already got blackballed from that kind of stuff, for doing that kind of stuff. I mean, they're basically saving these transfers so they can use them down the line, and it does make sense from a coach's point of view. Where high level recruits who has already been offered a big time school versus taking a high school recruit, come on, what are you going to do? What who said anything that like offered though? Yeah, take what's offered, but what if a lot of these offers are not on the table? This is national. Every recruiter, if they're being honest, they'll tell you this is a problem. They're not taking high school kids. They're taking less. And not only that, coach, they could bank them scholarships. So of course you want to take one of these kids. You don't have to take the high school kid. You can hold on to that scholarship. Now we're not really talking D3, but it's happening in D3 because now, because of the FBS stuff, a lot of these D1 kids are going over to D3. I talked to a few D3 places, and they're getting these D1 kids, so it's a trickle down effect. So, and they get to keep the scholarship. So, let's go into portal. We got 25 scholarships, let's say, right? Let's go into portal. Let's take 20 players out the portal that proven they can go to a school. We'll take 20 of them kids, and we keep these scholarships. You multiply that over 4 years, you could bank up 80 damn scholarships. Hey, well, you know what? You're the anomaly. I mean, I know a lot of coaches are calling these schools. I'm just going by what it's saying. The top 150 kids, man. I'm glad they co. You know why? Because you coach of the year. You know what I'm saying? You top dog over there. That's why they coming. They be calling me. That's what you be saying. They be calling me. Nah, shout out to you, and I'm sure your kids are worthy of it. Yes, schools are gonna come. They're gonna come talk to the kids, you know. But at the end of the day, and of course the scholarship stuff, that's up in the D1. They bank on them scholarships, but it's gonna be a trickle down effect. You're gonna see kids that listen. It's happening already. I do make calls, and I do. I know you do, man. Uh-oh. Here he goes. He said, "I do make calls and I do reach out." Yeah, shout out to you. I actually know that's a fact. Look at this dude. Talk your shit. He said, "I'm brutally honest. I'm brutally honest." He said, "Y'all got to go check out Cliff Fortin's thing in the journal." Coach Fortin, listen, Texas State. You might have not have caught this earlier. Texas State, right? You know how many high school kids they recruited? And that's a pretty good school, right? Oh, I definitely got to put that up there. Yeah. Someone says I'm correct. Shit. Eh. Texas State, my guy, right? What the hell was it? Texas State. Texas State recruited zero high school kids. One JUCO kid. You got to be in the top 150 kids. They're saying this year. People are getting mad at recruiters. Oh, this guy don't want to talk to our kid. He thinks he's too good for our kid. But then there's coaches that are saying their kids' aspirations are bigger than your program. You know what I mean? So if you can get into a college right now, you better get into that college, any college, and then get your in that portal. That's all you do. Get wherever you can get, and then jump in the portal because that portal ain't going nowhere. But I'm thinking about 3-4 years, this might start to level off. I hope so. So what do we do from here, right? We train the crap out of our kids. We take advantage of all the lineman camps. We take advantage of the 7-on-7s we got going on. We take advantage of programs like Behind the Pads, Breakthrough Academy, 401 Strength and Fitness, Beast Coast Football Academy. We work together to make Rhode Island football players better. Because that way, if one kid goes out of Rhode Island, it looks good for the state. So we all come together to make Rhode Island football better. I'm waiting for my producer to put Coach Fulton's comment up on the screen. There it is. See, we got people working behind the scenes. I talked to all, and the hands are moving when Coach Fulton's saying this. You know what I mean? I talked to all of them. Anyone that wants to recruit any of my players, we have a sit down and we go from there. You know what I'm saying? So forget about it. That's my guy, man. Shout out Coach Fulton. But yeah, this is I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And nationally, 400 fewer kids sign letters of intent. 400 fewer kids sign letters of intent to play FBF college football in 2021 recruiting cycle compared to 2020. Coach Fulton said he's doing a 7v7 again this year. The best trophy in the state is up for grabs again. I'll tell you what, it's the biggest trophy. It's the only trophy you better rent. At least that small Toyota U-Haul truck they got. That thing's like 5 feet. Coach Blesson been carrying that damn thing around for 2 years. Coach Fulton, man, why don't you just hit the link? You could jump up in here and, you know. But yeah, like, plus we are doing a lineman stuff while the 7-on-7 is going out. Yo, shout out to the linemen. We got some good stuff for the linemen coming up this off season. So linemen, we gonna be doing it. We definitely gonna be doing it. That's what's up. What else was going on? Oh, we're working on the All State. We're gonna have that. That's gonna be lit. That's coming up. Maybe I'll see if I can have that for you right around Christmas. But and then you can compare it to my son's All State over there. He hasn't sent me a Christmas card. I sent him my dollar. He says subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Send me $1. I'll send you $1 back. Dude, I haven't got either one of my dollars back. I feel like the kid from the John Cusack movie. My $2. Kid on the bike. Chasing him through the damn city. My $2. But yeah, man, get your kids on the ball because if they're not the it factor, we're gonna have a hard. Now I'm not saying. Now don't come back and say, hey, Timmy got recruited. Hey, Jimmy got recruited. Hey, Sally got good for you. I'm not saying kids are not gonna get recruited. I'm just saying, in all, there's gonna be problems. Less kids are gonna get recruited. We're seeing it right now. We are seeing it right now. A kid that should already been off the boards, quarterback. That's the hint I'm going to give you. Should already be off the boards and recruited, but no, he's being held back because of some portal. Because you know what? You got to be the factor that. Listen, it is what it is, man. So what else? Yeah, so we're working on the All State. Working on the All State thing. Shout out Felix over there at Rhode Island Ranked. Shout out to him. Definitely check what he has going on. Here's something else I want to talk about. As a coach, should you treat your players like you would want your own kids to be treated? With respect, love, discipline. You know what I mean? What do you say about that? Definitely, everybody should be treated with some Don Respect. Put some respect on my name. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. This is dedicated, man. How can we not say shout out to Hammer Hendrix, man? Rest in peace, my guy, man. Providence loses a king, a legend. You know, life was taken way, way too soon. Yeah, definitely shout out to him. Big congratulations. Classical did it. And my guy working, Marcus Buchanan, doing his thing. Yeah, definitely rest in peace. Hammer Hendrix for sure, for sure, for sure. Let's see. And congratulations to all the kids that made the all state, all division list. Don't forget, check out the 2022 Breakthrough Academy schedule. Is going to be lit. They're going on tour. Well, I think they might have already picked their teams. Definitely check that out, man. Shout out Mark Wright, rolling with us all year. If you're looking to buy a house, definitely give Mark a call. Presidential Award winner. Call Mark at 401-787-5203. Tell him Mikey told you to call. Now, I'm definitely, you'll be glad you did. But yeah, so that's about it. I don't know. You can see my bowl of fries in here the whole time, but I have my little lunch. But let me know what you think about this portal stuff. Am I full of shit, or you think that I really know what I'm talking about? But anyway, we out. Thank you. Appreciate everybody. Let me go to my little videos over here. Gotta get my producer. Where's my producer? He's not even in the room. We gotta be on the ball.
Can We Keep It Real Podcast Network. Shout out to Can We Keep It Real Podcast and Network.